Alright, guys. Your boy Zeke Zodius here. Important subject to talk to you guys about today. Very important. So, yesterday someone asked me, what are your thoughts on the NFL protests? And I've been wanting to make a video regarding it for the longest of time. But when I got around to it, it was kind of dying down. Felt like no one really cared. But it seems to be a huge issue right now, dealing with the fact that Trump and everyone is getting into it. I don't know. It's a very sensitive subject. It's a very complicated subject that really shouldn't be that complicated. It shouldn't be the huge mess that it is. There's no need for it to be this big of an issue. There's no need for people to be getting in these types of arguments about it. I can see why people are fed up. I can see why people are irritated. So before I try to go into a subject like this, before I try to interpret it in my brain or something, I try to put myself in the positions of both shoes. And being someone who's of color, I kind of understand a lot of what they are protesting. It's not even kinda, I do understand it because I deal with it from a day-to-day basis, to be completely honest. But I'll get into that later on. The protesters. Do I believe they're right or wrong? I believe they're right. They're not doing it as disrespect to the flag. They're not doing it as disrespect to the military. They're not saying, yo, I hate the military, so I'm a kneel. Or, yo, I hate the flag, so I'm a kneel. Yo, I hate this country, I want to leave, so I'm a kneel. It's nothing like that, and that's what people are trying to make it out to be. That's what Trump and a lot of these other people are trying to make it out to be. And then some of these people just follow. If you follow someone, then you basically take their opinion, I've noticed with a lot of people on the internet. Yo, you follow Trump, so you hate protesters. You hate people that are kneeling. And I think that's wrong because a lot of people don't take the time out to see the facts. They see someone make a wrong depiction of something and then they take that and they move with that, even know that they're wrong. And when they realize that they're wrong, they don't like to admit it. In America, we don't like to admit when we're wrong. We don't like to admit when we're in the wrong. We don't like to admit that we're anything but right. No matter how hard it is, how big of a situation, we don't like admitting that. Because we have so much pride. And our pride gets the better of us a lot of times. Tell me you don't have one situation where you lost a friend or something because of your pride. You didn't put your pride aside for someone. You didn't just talk something out. Instead, you jumped to conclusions. It happens a lot in politics. It happens a lot with the internet. It happens a lot with everybody. So, the protesters, they're protesting for minority rights, black people rights, Black Lives Matter, things like that. But everyone that I see on Twitter is complaining, you're not oppressed, you make $1 million. If you make $1 million paycheck, you're not oppressed. You can't be oppressed because you make a lot of money. You never had to deal with oppression. But the point that these people aren't understanding is these millionaires, these people that have millions of dollars of money, are the only ones with platforms to do anything. These rappers with millions of followers, millions of fans, they're the people who have the platform to do something about it. These NFL players have the platform to do something about it. Someone as myself at this point, or these people living in the lowest of low, in the most poverty-stricken areas, don't have that. They don't have a voice. So it's up to us to count on these these bigger people, better well-known people, to be that voice. And people don't understand that. Like, you're not going to know about someone protesting in the hood or something, or in Chicago, or in the heart of the Bronx, or in Compton or something, because they don't have a voice. They don't have 1 million followers. They don't have a big social media following. They don't have any of that. They don't have the money to put them on that platform. Money is power nowadays. If you have money, you have power. And these NFL players have the platform to be able to do this. But let me break you down with some facts. So before 2009, the NFL, no one stood outside for the Pledge of Allegiance, none of that. You can go check my facts, you can go look it up. Before 2009, I may be wrong on the date, 2009, 2008 area. They did not stand outside for the flag. They stayed in the locker room for the Pledge of Allegiance and yada yada. The government paid the NFL $5-6 million to have them stand outside for the flag to look more patriotic. So, number one, people don't realize that. The people that are arguing, oh, they're disrespectful, yada yada, they don't know that. Stephen A. Smith brought it up. There were a few other people that brought it to my attention from videos and things that I were watching, but we didn't even do that before 2009, and it was paid for. So no matter what you want to consider it, yada yada, it's still kind of paid patriotism. The government paid NFL to do this so they would seem more patriotic. And I don't know if this was a view thing, or some people mention recruitment, things like that, but it was still paid for. Now, I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be patriotic. But I can understand what Kaepernick's issue was. He doesn't want to stand for something that doesn't support him. No matter how you guys want to take it, I know there's going to be people who are going to completely take it the wrong way, completely take it the right way, something like that. It's one or another, and that's another issue with is we're not compromising. We just want to be right, and we want the other person to be wrong, the other people to be wrong. And lately, we've been becoming less and less about compromise and more about being exactly right. We don't want anybody to be right but us. Unless you're with me, you're wrong. Now, saying as though I've been through a lot of this firsthand account, the racism being called the N-word and stuff, I can completely understand where they're coming from, and I support it because I do feel oppressed at times. I still go places and get dirty looks. I have been bullied for things. I have been secluded for things because of it. And I believe we need to stop using race as a determinant. If they don't want us to assume every cop and everything is bad, then stop assuming we're all bad. I love cops. I don't have anything against cops that do their job. I only have things against crooked cops. But it's not like I don't have anything against crooked people. But a lot of these bad cops are getting a bad reputation for the good cops. I have a cop from Jefferson that I love. He's like the coolest person ever. And these bad cops are really ruining it. And we're not getting mad, truly, at least from my standpoint, at the good cops. We wish that some of these good cops would speak up against the bad cops. Because there's got to be like 5 good cops for every bad cop, at least. So there has to be more good cops on that department with the bad cops. So the good cops should be able to voice their opinion and stand their ground and help us out here. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand it. The fact that we're getting into such big arguments, so little compromise, we're just so focused on being right. Don't want anybody else to be right unless their viewpoints are exactly like ours. And none of us have the same exact viewpoints. We cannot continue to try to judge until we try to put ourselves in those shoes. You know what I'm saying? Trump has never truly felt that oppression based on skin color. He may have felt some oppression through trying to start his own company, through starting his own TV shows, but he has never felt that oppression through his skin color. He's never been looked at as inferior because of his skin color. I can't choose if I'm black. I can't choose if I'm white. We can't choose if we're Latino. We can't choose if we're Irish. We can't choose if we're African. We can't choose if we're South American. We don't get to choose these things. These things are all predetermined before we are born. We don't choose who our parents are. We don't choose who's the donors. We don't choose what happens coming up, how do I say it, before our birth. We can't choose any of that. We're not in a position to choose that. So it's wrong to criticize someone because of their skin color. I don't believe I'm ignorant. Someone may look at me and think I'm the most ignorant person ever, but you don't know what I've been through to get to this point, and you don't know how these experiences I've had in life have affected me to this point. And that's something we don't look at. We don't take other people's experiences, other people's lives into account. We don't walk a mile in their shoes before we just start throwing things out, before we start spewing things out. A rough childhood is no excuse to be evil. Dealing with racists and racism is no excuse to be evil. I'll give you guys that. We don't have any right to just be evil, rioting, destroying stuff. But when we're trying to peacefully protest and people are still getting angry about that, it's very hard to stay on this peaceful route. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the most peaceful anyone's been about it, and we're still getting called out. We're still getting made fun of. We're still getting, he's a effing N-word, and kick him out of the league, fire him, he's being disrespectful. They're not even doing it to be disrespectful to the flag. They're not saying F the flag. They're not saying F the military. We love the military. They love the military. We all love the military. No matter what, somebody's always on the front lines risking their life for us. I love that. I appreciate that. I appreciate everyone in the military. One of my best friends just joined the military. I love the military. I have nothing against them. Their kneeling is not protesting against the military. It's protesting against the government. It's protesting against the crooked cops. There's people out here saying, screw the Black Lives Matter movement, Blue Lives Matter, yada yada. Blue Lives Matter, all lives matter. We're not saying that other lives don't matter. We're just saying that if all lives matter, why are we being treated inferior? Why do we get the short end of the stick? Why are the minorities getting the short end of the stick? It's not just about black people. It's not just about Latinos. It's about anyone who's oppressed. And there's tons of white people who are oppressed. But Trump does not understand from this viewpoint because he's always had money. His parents always have had money. He's never had to deal with the poverty. He's never been at the bottom. He's never dealt with any of this like we have. I've been at the bottom. It's not fun. I've seen what it's like. I've been there. I've been kicked out of homes. I've been, like, not knowing where I'm going to go. It's not fun. He's never truly had to deal with that. And that's why I don't believe he can give an honest opinion on this stuff. He can't say that they're just disrespectful or they're not oppressed. And these people supporting him just can't say he's not oppressed either. These people aren't oppressed because they're making millions. It's wrong to say that. Because they have the platform, they're trying to do something about it. Kaepernick spends hours, hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars at charities to help people out. So it's not just he's protesting on the field, he needs to do something else. They're bringing it to your guys' attention. The people that don't like to see it, whether you like it or not, you're seeing it. It's all over Twitter, it's all over Facebook. People are all riled up about it. It's tough. It's a touchy subject. People are getting very irritated without understanding, and I don't know. Just to kind of wrap things up, my final conclusion on this subject is if we just took the time to look at why Kaepernick and all these NFL players are kneeling and trying to protest, and we put all this effort that we put into complaining about it, into finding a solution for it and fixing it and making it feel as though people aren't oppressed, helping those that are oppressed, instead of just sitting there whining, complaining about it. They wouldn't even have an issue. They wouldn't even feel the need to kneel anymore. And that's just a simple conclusion that I can come to. Why not? Instead of us all arguing, instead of us all fighting, instead of Trump calling everyone out, why don't we try to do something, help those that feel oppressed? Because I know a lot of people with money, a lot of people can say stuff, a lot of people can do stuff and help out. Why can't they just help those that feel oppressed, instead of complaining, instead of whining about it, instead of getting people angry, and they wouldn't kneel anymore. We wouldn't have an issue. We wouldn't feel the need to. It's just my better judgment of it. Not saying that's right. Not saying I'm wrong. Once again, I know there's people that are going to take this the wrong way. People that are going to agree with me. At least I hope people are going to agree with me. And see that I'm not just trying to force my beliefs down someone's throat. And that's about it, guys. Really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a thumbs up. Give me your opinion below on the subject matter. Give me what you think needs to be done. And I'll accept that. I'm a human being, you're a human being, we got that First Amendment. Let's just go from there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Love you guys. See you later. I'll be streaming. That's about it, guys. Peace out.